What is going on, guys? Jordan here today at Totally Bored, and in this video I want to show you guys my current shelf of shame. So I've been in the hobby for about a year now, and my shelf of shame, it's growing a little bit, but it's really not as bad as I kind of thought. I have all the games set aside right here. You might be able to see a few of these borders right here, but I just wanted to show you guys what is currently on my to-do list when it comes to games that I have. And if you see my Game Nerds video, which I can link right here, some of these are going to be involved in that, mainly because I just received them about a week and a half ago and haven't had a chance to play them. But let's actually go ahead and start with those games. The first one that I haven't played yet on my shelf of shame is Root. Now, Root is an asymmetric war game, essentially, where you are taking control of these little woodland creatures and you're trying to control the forest. And it's a very heavy, deep game. I think the artwork and thematically, it's probably one of the most beautiful games I've ever seen, actually. I absolutely love the art style of this game. And honestly, I just haven't had a chance to play it. It's very deep, it's very heavy, and I've read and heard a lot on different reviews and stuff that you really want to play this with 4 players, given the fact that it is an asymmetric 4-player game. And yeah, I haven't got a chance to play it yet. You know, if you want to play it, hit me up. I don't know if you can play. I think they have a digital app, actually. So if you guys want to teach me or you want to play and whip my ass at this game, leave a comment below and we can maybe try to link up and you can show me how to play this. I know 9 to 5 Gamers, he was willing to play with me, so I need to DM him and get him to teach me this game. But yeah, Root, very excited to play this game. Looking forward to it. I'll put that over here. Next up, this is a game I bought off one of my friends. It's actually an expansion, and I'm going to be including expansions in this because my list isn't that huge. Actually, take that back. We'll wait on that one a second. I forgot I have 2 more games from the Nerds Day Haul I haven't played. First one is Lord of the Rings, the LCG, along with the Fellowship of the Ring Saga expansion. Now, I got all of these sleeved up, ready to go, so I'm very hyped to play this game. Just haven't had a chance to play it yet. I really, really love Marvel Champions. I also played through the first campaign of Arkham Horror, and I had a really good time. And I like Lord of the Rings a lot more than I do both of those, so I'm really excited to play both of these games. Well, this game, but also this expansion. I love Lord of the Rings, the movies and all that. So I'm really hyped to play this, just waiting for the right time, waiting for someone to come play with me. I know typically when I play Marvel Champions and Arkham Horror, I prefer these at like 2-player, maybe 3. I think anything more than that is too long. It gets a little too convoluted, a little too crazy. But looking forward to this. I might try to convince my girlfriend to play with me. And yeah, this is just waiting to be played. This came in, like I said, not too long ago, maybe 2 weeks ago or so. So just waiting to bust this out, but overall, really excited to play this one as well. And then going back to the other one I was about to start, this was an expansion for a game that I just talked about, actually. And this is Marvel Champions Mutant Genesis. So this is like one of the X-Men expansions for the game. And I love Marvel Champions. I think the game is really great. As I've played it more, it's a little harder to get to the table for a few different reasons. I've played through it a lot already. I haven't played through this campaign, but it also, Marvel and honestly LCGs in general, I'm not sure if Lord of the Rings is the same way. It very well could be, but there's a lot of rules in the game that can be a little like finicky, half the time. Even now, I played Marvel Champions a lot, but there's still a lot of situations where I'm having to like Google and check rules, and that's fine, but sometimes it can be a little much, especially like when I'm playing with a new player and I'm having to do that. I think sometimes it can turn some people off from the game. They get a little overwhelmed, but either way, I'm kind of waiting to see how I feel about this. I'm not like a huge fan of Shadowcat and Colossus. They're cool. I really like X-Men, and I do have Storm. I have what else? Wolverine, and I think I have one other X-Men. I can't remember, but so I'm really more interested in like the villains of this expansion. You can play against Sabretooth, you have Sentinels, Master Mold, the Brotherhood, and then Magneto. So I think it's going to be fun. I'm just waiting on the right time. It is sealed, so I don't know if I want to sell this or not yet. We'll have to wait and see, but I'm still excited. I still like Marvel Champions a lot. I'm honestly a lot more hyped to play Lord of the Rings as of right now. That'll probably get to the table before I get to this. But I do like the campaigns. I played through the Sinister Motives campaign of Marvel Champions, and that bumped the game up a lot for me. I think the campaigns are a lot more fun than just playing a standalone kind of fight or whatever. So yeah, Mutant Genesis. I am gonna play this. Maybe we'll see if someone offers me if I can sell this or trade it. I might do that, but we'll see. We'll see. So next up we have let's do this expansion. So Great Western Trail is one of my favorite games. It's in my well, I'm not gonna ruin that. That's for a different video. But this is the Great Western Trail's Rails to the North expansion. I've had this for a few months now actually, and I haven't been able to get Great Western Trail to the table as much as I want. I did actually play it a few weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago or so. But it was with new players, and I didn't really want to use the expansion when I taught them. So that's kind of how it's been for me the last few times I've played Great Western Trail as I've been teaching it. So I don't really want to use the expansion yet. And so this is just kind of waiting. You know, I did find a group, shout out to David and Brandon and Bethany. They really liked Great Western Trail, and I think they would fully be down to play with this next time. So I don't know, maybe this upcoming week or the next week after that, I might try to play this and see how I feel about it. But essentially this opens up the top of the board. It's an overlapping expansion, so it actually goes over the board. And I could probably show you guys real quick. But it adds a lot more depth to the top of the player board and allows just for a lot more places for your little train to go. So if you can see on the back here, see this black part, this is like kind of raised up. And so you lay it right over the board. And I'm not sure how clearly you guys can see that, but basically the bottom of the train track is right here, and it just allows you to go up all throughout these different areas, and you have new buildings you can place, and it looks like it's going to add quite a bit of depth. I think it's also going to make the game longer, which this game is long already, so I think that can be a little intimidating for some, but not really for me. Just waiting to play it with the right group. So that is Great Western Trails, Rails to the North. Now, there's another expansion that I completely forgot, and it's right here. Take it out right now. This is A Feast for Odin, the Norwegians. Now, A Feast for Odin is one of my favorite games of all time, and I did a lot of research going into this expansion. Haven't had a chance to play it yet, but my impression and what I've kind of read about this is it's basically like a patch for the game. It fixes a lot of the issues with the player board, but it also adds new animals. It adds pigs and then also horses, I think. Yes. And then it adds some new different shaped polyomino tiles. So really hyped to play this. You know, A Feast for Odin is just so good. It's so good. It's a big open world saga adventure set in like a Vikings universe. And there's just so much to do. You can go, well, if I haven't explained this already, it's a worker placement game with over 60 different worker placement spots for your character to go. So it can be overwhelming at first, but it's so good. It's actually pretty simple once you get a general idea of what's going on. But you can do things like go hunting, you can farm essentially, or like raise animals, you can pillage and go try to get loot, you can forge materials. There's just so much you can do. And I'm really excited to play this because it is essentially like an essential / patch for the game. So really hyped to play this again. It also just comes down to me finding a group who's down to play A Feast for Odin, and a few friends that I've recently met told me they were down to play this game, and so I'll probably pull out the expansion the first time we play it, which I was hesitant with Great Western Trail because it adds a lot more depth, whereas this one doesn't really add a ton more depth. It really just kind of fixes the base game. So I don't know, it's getting a little cluttered over there, but I think we're chilling right now. Okay, so just put this over here. Is that sketchy? Maybe. Okay, and then next up we have, this is Lost Ruins of Arnak, the Expedition Leaders expansion, and I've only played Lost Ruins of Arnak once, and it was actually on BGA. I haven't even had time to play this in person yet. This was the winner actually of the Pick My Next Board Game Challenge. Well, not the expansion, but the base game. And I liked it. I thought it was fun. And what Expedition Leaders does is it adds asymmetrical heroes, or what are they called? The archaeologists, I guess. But that adds asymmetry to the player archaeologists and allows for each person to have their own ability and unique actions they can do. So I think this is going to be really, really fun and probably make the game better for me. I didn't dislike that element in the original game, but I think this is going to be more interesting and just spice it up a little bit. So looking forward to this. Just haven't honestly had a chance to play it yet. I have a pretty big backlog and a lot of groups going on right now, and I'm not always the one like hosting, so I'm not always choosing the game. So I'm kind of just going with the flow, enjoying playing with a bunch of new people, getting to meet new people. So this will happen. I just don't know exactly when. So looking forward to it. And then last but not least, this is a very popular game. This is a Stonemaier game, very popular worker placement. This is Viticulture. Now, I bought this a while ago, actually. I got this around the 4th of July, so it's been a minute, and it's just been sitting on the shelf. I don't want to get rid of it, though. I think the theme is very unique. I think it appeals to a lot of people who may not be interested in some of my other dorky fantasy-themed games. This is a more realistic game where you are running a vineyard, and it's widely known as being a top worker placement game. So I'm excited to play this. It's just something that with a lot of my core groups right now, the theme is kind of a turnoff for some, and I get it. I think it doesn't really sound like it's very engaging, especially to a lot of my friends who are into like fantasy stuff or like sci-fi. Playing a vineyard game is kind of like, eh. But then again, I convinced a few people to play Great Western Trail, which that theme can turn some people off too, and it's phenomenal. And so, I don't know, I might pitch this at one of the next game nights and see if people are down to play it. And yeah, that's just one of the games that I haven't had a chance to get to the table, and it's taken a little bit of convincing, but I think eventually I'll get there. So that wraps up my Shelf of Shame video. I think honestly, for being in the hobby for a year, this really isn't too bad, and a lot of it's expansion. So I think I'm doing pretty solid. I always try to, when I buy games, I try to play them first before I get expansions. It doesn't always happen. A Feast for Odin's goated, so I knew I was going to want the expansion. Same with Great Western Trail, but I'm really hyped to play these. Roots at probably the top of the list here. Probably Roots, as far as what I really want to play next. Yeah, let's do that right now, actually. So we'll do Roots #1 for sure. Then I would say A Feast for Odin. I want to play that again with the expansion. And then next is going to be for sure Lord of the Rings. So the other ones, that's going to be the order of operations for how I play these probably. And I'm looking forward to all of the games though. So can you guys see those? Kind of. Okay, well that wraps up my Shelf of Shame video. If you thought my Shelf of Shame was too much, roast me in the comments. If there's any other games that you think I should play or any other expansions for the games I own you think I should play, comment below and let me know what you think. But this is Jordan here at Totally Bored. I'll see you next time.